Hey, what's poppin', everybody? It's Kabaddi Keenan back with another video here to talk about the Jaipur Pink Panthers, the second most successful team in PKL history. First off, I don't think we can really start anywhere else other than the fact that they no longer have the raid machine. Arjun Deshwal is no longer with the Panthers, which questionable decision on their part, seeing as he's literally been the person that carried their team offensively for like the past 2-3 seasons. Don't know how long he's been with them. I'm pretty sure it's at least 3 seasons. But the person who scored well over 200 points over the last 3 seasons is no longer there with them. I don't know what made them decide to let him go. Interesting decision on their part, to say the least. But they did try and supplement his absence with the likes of getting Manjeet, who was previously with Umumba last season, had a down season for sure. He didn't even manage to cross the 100-point threshold, so definitely not his best season. So I know he's hoping for a bounce back, as well as the Panthers, seeing as they went out and got him as someone to try and replace Arjun's production. The only problem with that, again, is like you get rid of Arjun, you're having to bring in at least 2-3 guys just to try and make up for the production of one, and that's really tough to do usually. But they went into the auction with a pretty large purse, and they managed to purchase 13 players or something like that. So I don't know if that's something similar that they did, where they wanted to have a larger purse to try and get more players, seeing as maybe they felt that they were a little bit too reliant on Arjun Deshwal the past couple seasons and it just wasn't working for them. Maybe they're just trying something different, figuring that maybe letting go of one of the best raiders in the entire league, and is probably going to go down as one of the best raiders of all time, is maybe the best move, and that maybe they can get a lot more production out of, or equal if not better production out of, multiple raiders. Maybe that's their goal, maybe that's what they're thinking. But nonetheless, they brought in Manjeet, and they also brought in Nitin Kumar, who was with the Bengal Warriors last season, and he did well. He scored 118 points in only 14 matches. I'm assuming that he got hurt. So you give him at least 6-8 more matches, he's probably sitting somewhere closer to the 140, 150, possibly even 160 range, which would have put him close to the top 10, if not within the top 10 Raiders last season. So that's not a bad move in my opinion. Hopefully he can stay healthy and he can do what I'm sure they brought him in to do, which is again replace the production that Arjun Deshwal did. But they're gonna need both him and Manjeet to play at their highest level in order for them to try and replicate the production that they lost with losing Arjun Deshwal. Now they did buy a young player who, it's gonna be his first season in the PKL, in Uday Partey. He was one of the larger purchases that took place on category D, I believe, which is all the young players that I think come out of the Yuva League and have yet to play in the PKL yet. So they're basically rookies. I'm looking forward to see what he does, because again, I've never seen him play, but with the sort of press he seems to be getting, he must be pretty damn good. So I'm sure they're expecting him to slide in, as a number 3 behind Manjeet and Nitin Kumar. So we'll see how they do. Offensively, I think obviously they're going to take a step down. I won't say obviously. I just think that whenever you lose a player like Arjun, I don't think anyone's expecting you to be as potent offensively, but they could prove me wrong. Defensively, I think is definitely where they're going to struggle. They kept the likes of Razamir Baghetti, great defender. Whenever I think of Jaipur Pink Panthers, he's one of the people that comes to mind. He seems to be a staple for them defensively, so smart for them to keep him for sure. I was disappointed that they got rid of they let go of Ankush Rathley. He was one of my favorite players on the team, to be honest. I really liked him. I feel like he was, if not their best defender, their top 2 or 3 for sure, holding down the right side. So why they decided to let go of him, and he didn't even cost that much. He was literally at the base price. So why they decided to let go of him, I'm honestly baffled by that decision. But they did bring in Nitin Rawal, who he's categorized as an all-rounder, but he definitely is more of a defender. I think he was top 5. He was a top 5 defender. So even though he's classified as an all-rounder, maybe he contributes a little bit offensively, but they're going to be relying on him to really hold down that defense. Defensively, they can be okay, but I think they're really just going to have Nitin and Razamir Baghetti to hold them down. The rest, we'll see if they can step up to the plate, but I don't know. I think defensively is definitely where they're going to struggle. And to be honest, I feel like with the Jaipur Pink Panthers, that's always been the case with them, where defensively, I've always felt that they've been kind of behind the ball, that it was always their offense that really carried them and bailed them out in a lot of situations. In part, again, because of Arjun Deshwal. Now, we'll see how they do if their defense sort of remains the same, yet they don't have the likes of Arjun and they're relying on Manjeet and Nitin and Uday Partey. If they can manage to just supplement the one of the raid machine, then they might be able to sustain what they've been doing over the last couple years. But I think that they're a team that's kind of in flux right now. I honestly don't know how to feel about them. To me, their management, their organization kind of made some interesting moves with their roster this season. So I don't have the highest hopes for the Panthers this season, but it is kind of hard to go against them because they are historically one of the best teams in the league, and they've won 2. They're the second most successful team in the league, and they continually usually always make the playoffs. So it's kind of hard to bet against them not making the playoffs again, but I wouldn't put it past it. I honestly kind of don't see them making the playoffs this season. I feel like they might just miss out on it. I think they'll be a middling team. Could they sink to a bottom? I don't know. If they did, it would, I think, clearly be the worst season in their entire franchise history. We'll see. Maybe they could prove me wrong and they can be the Patna Pirates for me this season, where last year I thought the Patna Pirates did a horrible job with their roster and I thought that they were going to come in last place or be at the bottom of the table. Lo and behold, they completely proved me wrong and were the second best team, just losing to the Steelers in the championship. So I could be proven wrong. They could win the whole thing, possibly. They can stun everybody. I don't personally see it, but again, that's why you pay the matches. Things aren't won on paper, they're won on the mat. So we'll see how they do this season. I'm looking forward to them. You guys let me know what you think in the comments below. If you like this, please like and subscribe, and I will catch y'all next time.